This is the gospel according to the IRS, Breaking Points and Church Financial Updates. And now, here's the authority, Dr. Michael Chitwood and Breaking Points.
I'm Michael Chitwood, Breaking Points, breaking news. Here we go again. Grab your pad and your pen because this is hot off the press, so to speak. Glad to have you with us today. I've got a lot of information that I need to share with you, and it continues from the other program that we had, considering and talking about designated gifts. If you remember correctly, when we left off, we said that it's important for you to have an audit trail, a verifiable source document. Let me move to point 2. Do you understand that the largest deduction on Schedule A for an individual income tax return, the largest deduction is mortgage interest? Do you know what the second largest deduction is on Schedule A for an individual filing a 1040 tax return? It's charitable contributions. So, as people give their tithes and offerings into your house of worship, then it's important that you know how to document that. Now, make a note here. Number 1, there's only 4 things that you can record on a parishioner's or contributor's contribution record. Only 4 things. Number 1 is cash. Number 2 is checks. Number 3 are credit cards. And number 4 are money orders. So the 4 things that you can record is cash, checks, credit cards, and money orders. Mr. Chitwood, what in the world are you talking about? I'm talking about you as the bookkeeper, the treasurer, the church check writer. The 4 things you can record is cash, check, credit cards, and money orders. What you cannot record is donated property or donated time or goods or services. For example, if someone is going to clean the church and they say that that value is worth $100, but they don't want you to pay them, just add $100 to their weekly contribution record, you cannot do that. What you could do is write them a check and they could give that money back to the church as a contribution. Then you would have a what? Audit trail. Money out, money in. But what you cannot do is record anything other than cash, check, credit cards, and money orders. You cannot record goods or property that people give to your church. If someone wants to donate an automobile, you can give them a letter of acknowledgement, but you cannot give them a stated value of how much they gave for that car. After all, you don't even know where they got that car from. Maybe the car was a gift to them and they had no basis in it. Then what are you going to record on their contribution record? You can't record when people donate things or property to your church. And if you've been doing that, you've been breaking the law, and you could go to jail. Therefore, it's important for you to make sure that you cross every T, you dot every I, because we know it's not what you know that will hurt you. It's those things that you don't know. And I know in my heart that you really want to do it right. I know that. I've talked to thousands of bookkeepers and treasurers across America, and they all say the same thing. Mr. Chitwood, if we had just known. One lady said if she had just known all of this, she wouldn't have been in a federal penitentiary when she went because of things that she had done wrong and violations that she had done wrong. But the point is the audit trail. What comes in, what goes out. We're talking about designated gifts, tithing envelopes, offering envelopes, all of those things that go into the audit trail of the money coming in. We'll get to the money going out later, but for now, let's talk about the money coming in to the ministry. So the only 4 things you can record is cash, checks, credit cards, and money orders. Listen to this carefully and make a big note. In fact, put a big asterisk beside it. You cannot record checks as a final proof that you gave a donation. Let me give you an example. What if somebody wrote a check to your church and that check to your church was for youth camp fees? Or what if that check to your church was to buy some piece of an item at an auction? Or what if that check to your church was to send somebody to the Holy Land? Ladies and gentlemen, going to the Holy Land, as far as writing a check to your church, is no different than writing a vacation check. Now, I'm not saying it's not a spiritual thing in the Holy Land. Don't misunderstand me. It's wonderful to go there. But as far as you being able to record that donation, you cannot record anything but cash, checks, credit cards, and money orders. You cannot record property, and you cannot record donated services that people render to the ministry. The point in designated gifts, make sure that you have just as good as audit trail coming in as you have a good audit trail of the money going out. If you'll do that, then your house of worship will always be in order. Until next time, this is Michael Chitwood. I'll see you tomorrow.
Breaking Points gives you the latest IRS updates and tax law. Pastor, if the IRS came to your church today, what would you say? If you really want your house of worship in order, call 1-800-345-9117.